Griezmann was not doing what he's doing now at 18. He wasn't.
Yeah, but then look what he's doing now, and look at his age mates, and look what they're doing.
Oh my God.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But this is what I mean, though. If
No, sorry, don't mistake that. Oh my God, was I want to slap this man? Not oh my God, I see your.
but it's true. Am I like Callum? Am I lying?
Sorry, just so we're clear.
You have to look at your age mates. You have to look at your age mates. You
That,
have to
so,
look. You have to think to yourself like, look. You have to look at it and go to myself, rah, man. Look, let's say to Deli Ali. What age bracket is Deli Ali in?
I don't. I could give a fuck. He's a Spurs player. I don't care.
Dickhead age.
How old is he?
Dickhead age. He's. I think he's still 22 max for him, right?
Oh, come on, man.
No. He's older, man. He's definitely older.
Is he? Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Let's find
He's
this.
25.
Oh, okay.
Look at, and then look at what his other age mates are doing as well at 25, bro.
Let me ask you this effectively. So what you're saying is the moment if you're a professional footballer and you've gone through the academy or whatever, then there's like you're supposed to be like what, Mbappe level?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that no, I'm not saying that you need to be. I'm not saying that you need to be Mbappe's level. But what I'm saying is that you need to be putting up somewhat near enough the same kind of numbers. I'm not saying you have to be fantastic or anything like that. But I'm saying you need to put
numbers. Do you think Mbappe drops regular numbers? Do you think like 80 Mbappe? Like you look at how many people do you know have won a World Cup at his age? I'm sorry, like what?
You have to look at what your age mate is doing, bro.
Wow.
Look at Greenwood, for example. Even Greenwood as well, yeah. Like obviously he hasn't started kicking off yet, but everyone can see the talent, everyone can see the tech. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm looking at other people his age mate, and I'm like, bro, what's going on here? Like what did Greenwood do that you're not doing? You're not drinking the same water that we're drinking on Earth. What's going on?
Every once in a while, I allow myself to forget that you're African. And every once in a while, your African parent jumps out in such a big way that I'm wondering, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? I think I feel like I need to just come to your house every once in a while and look your daughter in the eye. Not every African is like your dad. It's cool.
No, do you know what it is as well? Yeah, let me use this as another example. So Rashford, when Rashford misses certain chances and that, I look at him and think, bro, your age mate is burying this. You know that? You know that? Yeah, your age mate is hitting it top bins, and you're just kicking it into the keeper. What kind of training are you doing?
Oh Lord. Just like you have the language down pat. You didn't even say, "Oh, look at the fellow player, your age mate." Like, oh Jesus, oh Lord.
You have to look at your age, man.
You know, see, you know what? It's times like this that I'm kind of glad you're not in football management. You be worse than Mourinho.
Bro, you know what, man? Listen,
as for your after match report, Deji will be like, "I gave them the tactics, I gave them the book, I told them, I showed them everything. I don't know what they did out there." They're not looking at their age mates. Look at their age mates, embarrass them on the pitch. That's not the game plan I came up with. I came up with a sensible plan to victory, and those boys went and fucked it up. That's what James is going to say.
Listen, you have to do that, man. Sometimes you have to.
Back again. Welcome back to the Bandit Football Fans podcast. Good looking out. We've been away for a couple of weeks. We've been breaking quarantine and flying to different countries, but now we're back. Welcome back to Deji.
If I get fined because of that, Kel, if people come and say we have it on record that you were flying, especially considering I didn't fly out and I had places.
Yeah, I didn't fly out as well. I was at home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't worry, immigrations are looking for you guys anyway. Don't worry.
Definitely not, bro.
Wow. Just this you know what? Start as you mean to go on. So today is that day.
All right, shots fired. Okay, D, you want to say hello to the?
Hello. It is good to be back. It's D, the Arsenal fan, for my sins. So yeah, we'll see how that goes today.
What Calum? What are you saying,
What's
man?
up, mate? All good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I've just been chilling. You know what I mean, on the Courvoisier. How you doing, Deji?
chilling on the club.
Yeah, man, I'm not too bad, man. I'm good. I'm alive. That's the good thing.
You been to Manchester yet, mate?
Don't. Why are you bringing this up before again? I'd have to school you one more time.
He feels the need to, like, I don't know what's up with Kel. Kel is feeling to be a shit stirrer tonight.
I
So
feel like
you know,
I have to school you today.
Well,
it is what it is. Right.
well, we're just back again. We're just international football. Thank God that's all over and done with. We're now Premier League started. Football fans can go back to stadiums. We're seeing football fans go back to Arsenal, Chelsea, and all the other tier 2 zones. What do you guys think about the fans going back?
It's overdue. It's I say it's overdue, but not really, because like the way it's been handled has been reasonably well thought out, which is surprising for me, because I thought, like, considering how certain aspects of the whole thing have gone, I didn't expect it to go as smoothly as it did, and it's gone really well, because even when, like, because I think Arsenal was one of the first games that had people back, and that worked out like quite well. And even like going over the weekend and with minimal fans, depending on the tiers, it was actually like well done. And like, so I thought it was quite well done, and it was actually good, because it seems like it's something that's football needed, because as much as like we enjoy watching the sport, not watching it without fans and artificial noise, it don't hit the same. So being able to hear what's that? What's that behind you?
Yeah. No, carry on. No, I distracted you. No, carry on.
Every time I come on this podcast, you people wake up and choose violence. You wake up and choose violence every damn.
No, carry on. My bad.
It's banter.
There
Anyhow,
was no need. Carry on.
and yet you did it. And yet you did it.
Where was Son in that thing?
For those
was leading the way, but no Heung-min.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
You weren't even there still.
For those who are listening to the podcast and are actually watching it, Deji was feeling like a smartass and posted as his background a picture of some Spurs players carrying a coffin, which is but yeah. But again, like, yes. To answer the original question, yes, I'm happy to see football fans back in, because we've been wanting this for quite a while. It seems like Deji has given us a nice segue into discussing Arsenal's woes.
Yeah, what position Arsenal?
Actually, what
Arsenal are now 15th in this thing. We're now 15th.
Can I say something?
Before.
Wait, can I say something? Sorry, Calum. I just want to say so. I have to throw this out before I forget. You know what made me laugh so much? Yeah, there are certain Arsenal fans which we've all watched and stuff like that, who all came out going, this man's a PE teacher, Ollie's this, Ollie's that, Ollie's blah 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 blah, all this stuff. Now we have what's it called, and then now we have Pep's. What do you call it? What would you call it? Pep's
protege.
Yeah, protege.
Lucky.
Yeah, that's it. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had
Arteta's.
We have Arteta now, and my man is now becoming like the PE teacher, and he's sitting in 15th place. I sit there and I wonder, and I go to myself, how dumb do Arsenal fans feel? It must be burning. They must be on fire right now.
Let me interject on that one. So here's the thing, right? With the current state of how the club is, I find it funny, because one, I'm not one of those ridiculous fans that goes on Twitter and starts chatting crap about other managers and all that. So that behavior has always been funny to me, because I'm just kind of like, I don't understand how you don't know the team that you support, and this team can just turn on you on a dime, and yet you just go online and chat nonsense. It's kind of like the same way when Arsenal fans get excited about the transfer window, and I'm just kind of like, the record, the track record. Arsenal's going to give you whatever they give you, and then you're going to make your peace with it. We've done this several times. You don't like, Arsenal is not the team you brag about. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. That's out of the way. The reason why the whole Arteta thing, I never got it, was like, I said this to a couple of Arsenal fans, and they were not happy when I said it. And when, like, towards the end of last season, I was looking at Arsenal playing, and I'm like, we're playing, like, Arteta is essentially playing like a Mourinho team where defensively solid, and then we hit on the counter, and that was it. And I said this at the time, and a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "What? How can you compare?" and all this and all this. And I'm like, I've seen, I know the kind of football that I'm looking at. That is literally what it is. And they're like, "Oh no, 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 no." And then when I come back to them, and I was like, and this season they were like, "Oh no!" I had this conversation with two Arsenal friends of mine, and they were like, "Oh, Arsenal is just a good team playing shit at the moment." And I was like, "No, we're not.
That team is air."
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying we're a shit team playing shit football, and this is the problem. And they were like, "Oh, if we're a shit team, then how did we pull off what we pulled off last season?" And I'm like, looking at the sport alone, looking at the history, sports in general, mediocre teams overachieve a lot, right? Enough times a mediocre team that has no business doing what it does will do something. That was what happened. Don't get me wrong. There are players in Arsenal that I think are solid. Like Aubameyang right now, what he's going through is a dip in form. It happens to the best strikers, right?
That's not dip in form. That's collecting the bag and deciding not to play.
No, see, that's one way to do it.
I don't think into Ozil. That's what he is.
No,
100%.
Honestly, I'm not
Ozil in disguise.
I'm not even. Until
Let's go to the Arsenal game and sing that chant.
Yeah, trust me. You're Ozil in disguise.
Wow.
Aubameyang saw Lacazette's hairline. It was just like, I got no hope. I'm going to turn out like this guy.
You know what? Again, all this banter is what it is. But for me, it's like I think like Aubameyang has a dip in form, and I strongly believe he's going to turn it around. So, sorry?
You just noticed that he's been gone for like 3-4 months now.
It's again, shit happens. I'm not worried about that.
No, but you know what? You're saying the form has dipped, yeah, but it's not like
him in particular. But the thing is, him going down, suffering a dip in form, and Arsenal effectively following him is part of the problem. Is what you realize with this Arsenal team, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the team is not good enough that a talismanic player goes off form, and the team doesn't just go with him. So when Arsenal was
just Aubameyang though. Because also Lacazette's not scored in has not been scoring. Pepe's obviously not playing. Willian isn't really doing.
So
Willian is an agent, so we will understand that.
I don't even think because
do you want Alonso as well? We can sell it to you.
Sorry, you know what? Who's his agent? His agent plays a factor. If his agent is not Kia, Arsenal is not buying him. Just putting that out there.
Okay. Result in North London derby, mate.
Sorry, no, but so with the way things are at Arsenal right now, I genuinely I'm not looking at Arteta and going, oh, this is a problem and all that, because I don't think Arteta is the problem. I think there are players that we have that unfortunately the players who are actually good and have carried the team have now come in a place where they're just kind of like, oh, we're not doing as much, and now it's a problem, right? So I'm not worried about it in the long term. In the short term, I think it's kind of like Arsenal is getting to the point where we've been over the years every time, and it's why we've never actually had a proper regrowth. Every time we've tried to come back and build the team up, we've been doing stopgap measures. So yeah, essentially that is because Arsenal fans, either the Arsenal fans or the management, can't accept the fact that this team, we need to just rebuild.
I've heard rumors that Arsenal fans want Wenger back. Is that true?
Not that I've heard of.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Even if, because this is what makes me laugh. Even if we brought back Arsene Wenger, what's he going to do? What's he going to
do? Yeah. Get you back to your high point.
Do you know what? This is what I said. This is why I said, This is what I said time ago, that Wenger is actually a good manager. To get the teams that he's had to Champions League is actually a sick achievement.
He took a team that had Shabak and had Jorginho. Whoa, don't knock Giroud. I've always rated Giroud. No one should. There'll be no.
Giroud. You know the Swiss guy.
Yeah, exactly. And he took them to Champions League, mate. Champions League quarterfinals, the semifinals one time.
So I heard a statement, D. Actually, this goes out to everyone. I heard a statement to say that Arsene Wenger was overachieving with the teams that he had. Is that true? Would you agree with that?
Not 100%. I think with the teams that he had, I don't think he overachieved. I see that's like
That's a good question.
I think he overachieved. I agree with that statement.
because
I think he did because the teams that you've had, the team. I bet you any money. Yeah, I bet you any money. If he had the team that you guys had today, he would be doing better than what you guys are doing right now.
You reckon?
100%. 100%. That team. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the problem, like I was looking at that Spurs game and I'm thinking to myself, you man are relying on Lacazette and more Aubameyang to do the dirt for you. If you take them two off the pitch, that team is shit. That team is absolutely naff. Like I was even sitting there thinking, who are you gonna bring on from the bench?
There was
to change things around?
And that's part of the problem. Because for me, I think it was with Arsenal this season, and this is where again I find I laugh because I'm looking at it and I look at, you can tell the difference between a young manager and a manager that's like been around for a while. With Arteta, towards the end of last season, there were a lot of fans that were complaining about, Arsenal, the way Arteta is playing is not the Arsenal way. And again, when everyone tells me that, I laugh because I'm just kind of like, which Arsenal are you referring to? Are you referring to Arsene Wenger's Arsenal, or are you referring to George Graham's Arsenal? Because when George Graham was manager, it was 1-0 to the Arsenal was the chant. It was 1-0. Arsenal had one of the best defensive lines in the game at the time, and then they'll just hold you down to 1-0. And then Arsene Wenger came in and it was like, I want players to do stuff, and everyone kind of went, oh yeah. And then because that was our identity for like 22 years, everyone just assumed we're supposed to be playing attacking football to the end of days. I'm a pragmatic person, right? I see Jose Mourinho as a manager that is just, he will do anything to win, and I'm about that life. I recognize that. So when people were looking, because a couple of Arsenal fans were complaining after the game against Spurs, were like, oh, Spurs were boring, and effectively for the second half, after they were 2-0 up, they effectively just like parked the bus and didn't like try and do anything. And I was like, yes, because that's what you're not there. No one is going to remember any kind of nonsense that happened in the game. Everyone's going to remember the North London derby ended in 2-0. That's it. I don't care how you're
going to remember Son's goal.
Exactly, they're going to remember Son's goal. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of what you get when you actually win. With Arteta, because towards the end of last season, there's been a change in formation between last season, what we're doing last season, and now, where now we're trying to be more expansive. And I'm looking at it and I'm just kind of like, dude, Arteta, what are you doing, bro? Just go back to three at the back, and just not
to cut you off, but are you an Arteta in or Arteta out guy, or you want to give him more time?
I think it's at this point it's mute. There's no, like, anyone that's saying Arteta out, I'm going to say it because I hate calling out, because I'm someone that doesn't like saying certain fans are idiots, but any fan that's saying Arteta out is a fucking idiot, because you're going.
Whoa.
No, because here's my thinking behind that is that we took. Serious person. We put up with Emery when Emery came in, and Emery did like whichever. If you want to compare it, because I know some Arsenal fans do this bullshit where they compare Arteta to Emery, and they go, "Oh, look, Emery did." Please, let's not. Emery did this with this and that, and I'm just looking at it and go like, "What did Emery leave the Emirates with? He didn't leave with anything. We were one of the like weakest defensive teams in Europe. Leno was having pot shots. Like, we played Watford. We're leading Watford 2-0. And then by the end of the game, Watford had come back 2-2 and have registered, like, in the space of 30 minutes, I don't know, 14 shots on target.
Damn, son.
And I'm just kind of like, how can you look at that and then go, oh yeah, that's the man? No, it's not. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure Emery's an amazing coach, right? Because he did the business with Seville. Yeah, when he was winning, he did, like, so we know he can win. You now look at it and just go like, okay, cool. If you bring a winning manager to a team and he can't do something and finesse it, then okay, that means there's probably a problem with the setup, and that's fine. I'm not even knocking. Like, I don't dislike Emery for not winning anything. I dislike Emery for the fact that he tried to do things that didn't work with the players he had. That is, I don't think Arteta should be out at any time, because at the very least he has until the end of the season.
All right. For me, let me ask you other boys about this about Arsenal as well, because we know you're very passionate. You're wearing on your chest. What do you guys think about the situation Arsenal going through right now?
Callum, you can take the reins on this one.
All right, D. Let me ask you this. Yeah, this is the way that I see Arsenal's squad right now. Starting at the back, you got Leno. He's been in some games he's saved your ass. In other games he's been, let's just say, questionable. Okay. In the defense, you've had inconsistency both in form and through injuries. Defensive midfield, you've had Xhaka, who, like, you got to give him credit for the way that he's come back. But in terms of generally, you've had Torreira and Guendouzi, who at some point people were hailing as the best two midfielders in the Premier League. I don't even know where they are now.
When you say people, it was only Arsenal fans. It wasn't people.
Piers Morgan.
Trust me.
Arsenal fans.
You guys are doing names I don't like bingo tonight. You're doing names I don't like. I don't understand how Piers. You know what? Yeah. Sorry, Callum. Keep going.
So defensive midfield, you've had those problems. Then you brought in Partey, who people are excited about, but he's obviously going to take time to gel. You don't have any wingers, really. Willian, I don't know how much of a winger he is anymore. You don't have a centre attacking midfielder because you sold Ramsey and Ozil clearly doesn't play for the club anymore. Yep. And then all of your forwards are firing. Is that basically Arsenal?
Yes and no. Yes, for like so in the defense, with the defense, there's a change in like, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this because there are a lot of Arsenal fans that don't like to admit it, and they just don't. It's a hard concept for them to wrap their head around. David Luiz in that defense, right, is better than people give him credit for. I don't like. I'm talking to two Chelsea fans that I don't know because I think because of his bombastic personality, people look at David Luiz and just go, "Oh, he's this just overexcited."
I don't disagree with one Champions League.
When David Luiz is in the defense, he provides this like he surprisingly he's a good outlet for the attack. So with him there, I like the way the defense is structured around Arteta now and how he's put it forward. It actually works. My problem with the last couple of games is we're changing a formation that doesn't need to be changed, i.e. when we have three at the back and we have like Bellerin and Tierney able to run forward and do players wing backs, we're so much better. But like with the setup of the team, the quality of players in certain positions are lacking. But what annoys me about it is towards the end of last season, Arteta found the system that worked with those players. So like as much as I've defended Xhaka for years because I felt like he's one of those players where he in the right system he can work. But the problem with, and this is where Arsenal are right now, they don't need a Goldilocks player like that. We can't afford to have.
So let me ask you, what has, when you say that Arteta found a system that worked for you, what has stopped? What has changed? What has stopped working?
There's a change in like the how best to put it, is a change in formation. So whereas when the system worked, we're playing with three at the back. So we're playing with three at the back, and we properly utilized our wing backs, and the midfield was not doing, like, for one thing, I feel, if I'm remembering correctly, Lacazette played deeper than he does now. And we had two players in the front who actually effectively acted as a block, which was what Xhaka and Ceballos did at the end of last season, where they stood in front of the defense and then the wing backs went forward. The reliance on whether it was Pepe on the wing or Aubameyang on the wing, it didn't matter because the ball still got to Aubameyang. Pepe was still a bit of a threat. And then we kind of knocked out all that chemistry because we brought in Willian, who, when he came in, I thought Willian was going to be playing behind the striker or behind the strikers. I didn't think he was going to get pulled on the wing and replacing Pepe.
How did you come with that conclusion? I always thought he was going to play on the wing. I thought it was competition out of.
No, because when he was coming over, in the back of my mind, I didn't see him as first choice, and I didn't understand why like Arteta was choosing.
Yeah, but then who would have been first choice then?
I thought it was still going to be Pepe. I thought it was going to be Pepe.
See, this is what I'm saying. I see. It was the other way around for me. I always thought that Willian was coming in for competition and possibly experience for Pepe. That's all. That's literally all I thought.
Because for me,
I thought he was coming in to set the tone, to set the bar of this is what an established Premier League player does. And Pepe
exactly.
being the young gun from a foreign league.
If William were younger, I think I would have bought into that and I would have been able to run with that. But the thing was, like, for me, when I'm looking at like Arteta and how he is now, I think part of the problem, and I'm going to attribute this to growing pains as a manager. Arteta strikes me as a manager that is a system manager, in that he wants to establish a system, and then every player does what they're supposed to do, and he doesn't have. I don't think he's a fan of individualistic talent, and part of the problem with the Arsenal attacking core is that's what he has. Like, so Pepe acts or plays better when the system is geared towards him. Aubameyang plays better when the system is geared towards him. Lacazette does the same thing. So when there's no room for these players to be like stamp the authority on the game, and they have to follow a particular system, I don't think they're used effectively. It's kind of like, and the argument goes back to, and this is the difference between, again, a young manager and someone like Arsene Wenger. So with Arsene Wenger, I remember back in the day, we had obviously more attacking options. When Arsenal were losing or drawing the game, and Arsene Wenger wanted to fix something, he literally just look on the bench and just go, "You're an attacker. You scored some goals. Get on there." And he'd chuck on anybody, and then you'll see whatever happens. He just kind of goes, "Look, I did it." And it's kind of the same thing when you look at, like, when we had Sanchez, when we had Alexis, it was a thing of, like, we were willing to pay what I used to call the Sanchez tax, where you give him the ball, you allow him to do what he wants to do, and then whenever he lost the ball, the team kind of had to, like, compensate for it, which was good in Alexis' case because he was always willing to chase the ball again. But, like,
let me ask you 2 questions.
Yeah.
Where what can you do to improve your home form? Because your form at the Emirates has not been great at all. And also, where do you think will you finish end of the season?
Oh, end of the season. End of the season. I'm honestly thinking. I don't think we're going to be in Europe. I think we're going to be from between 8th and 10th, which is surprising because, honestly, I'm not going to lie. When I started the season, I had genuinely hopes, because I remember saying that I was hoping we're going to go in top 4. But then I'm looking at it and I'm just kind of like, one, apart from the fact that our form has gone, like, horrendously downhill, every other person seems to be improving. Chelsea have got their groove and are going quite well. Liverpool is still standing strong. Spurs, and it kills me to say this, right? Spurs, for what it is, they're playing. I don't think they're overachieving. I think they've found a system that works for them, and I think they're exploiting it to the max. So until teams find a way to, like, break them, I don't see them changing. Which is, and Liverpool.
Liverpool win. Yeah.
See, the thing with actually, no, I'm gonna stick with Arsenal before I stray. But yeah, but with Arsenal, I think we end the season probably 8th or 9th. But again, and this is part of my thing for why that doesn't bug me, right? There's literally no team that has been on top forever or has been competitive forever. It doesn't, like, even the best of teams suffer. Like, look, if you look in La Liga right now, Madrid are going through it. Barcelona are going through it. They should not be. Barcelona should not be losing games to Cadiz like they did over the weekend. That just doesn't happen. So with Arsenal, I'm just kind of like, look, right. So let's break it down like this. Arsenal takes an L for what? 2 seasons, 3 seasons? I don't know. However long it happens, and then they bounce back. If we bounce back, we bounce back. If we don't, we don't. It's just the way. What's the way?
What's the definition of taking an L? Is it finishing halfway down the table?
Taking an L is just taking an L as in anything that doesn't, not making Europe is essentially an L for Arsenal.
Listen, the way you guys are going, it looks like West Brom is gonna come and cane your backside, bro.
2nd of January.
Look, I will take any and all shit, and I will brace it, and I'll take it. Do not bring this to my fucking house, bro. Just don't.
All right, let me add a distraction. Let me add a distraction. I'm going to pour some water on the fire, on that very flamey fire. You brought up Spurs and the system that they found. What do you guys think? If I put this to you, has Eric Dyer found his manager?
What? I think the whole squad has found their manager, man. I really do, man. I think Mourinho. I know everyone's, Mourinho lost it, innit? He lost the plot for a while, and sometimes even some of the stuff that he says about Spurs is wild, innit? So I think when they lost in Europe and that, he came out and he was like, "Yeah, these men are serious," and I'm like, "Bro, this is the same guys you was praising like last week." Do you know what I mean? Don't make sense, but I think the whole team is found like their manager, man. Son, Kane. I remember watching the documentary and he said to Kane, he was like, "Look, with me, you're gonna explode, bro. My man's doing bits, man. Them two are on a different level." Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like even
Kane
what's that?
definitely unlocked.
Yeah, man. What's that geezer? That Højbjerg or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Bruv, my
Højbjerg,
man's doing
yeah.
that, bruv. Him and Dembele in centre mid is mad, bruv. It's actually crazy.
5
Do you know what I
million
mean?
they got him for.
Sorry.
Is there any way back for Ali
It
now?
was only 5 million.
Oh, sorry. Go
Oh
on.
yeah, Holberg was definitely a steal. Was definitely
Yeah, 100%.
Unreal.
Dele Alli's done, man. I said this before, man. As soon as Mourinho
Overrated.
came in, when I was watching, I said that from time ago. He was already. He's just an average centre mid. That's what he is. Like he's just average, man. I've always thought he was average. Anyways, he had them one times where he would do like a spin and a kick and that. That's stuff that you do Sunday league, innit? And everyone goes, "Oh."
I remember that time. I was just about to put that
God
goal.
damn.
No disrespect to him, obviously. He's a professional footballer. And
Sorry,
no
I
disrespect.
love literally how you effectively go at a god. It's biggest insult you could give and go like, "That's Sunday league shit," and they'll go, "No disrespect, he's a professional footballer."
No, but it's true though. Like I think the most memorable thing that he did that I saw, I don't
Was
know
the
who he done it
celebration?
against.
Was the
No, it's
celebration?
not. Dickhead.
Real
No, it's
Madrid.
when I think he flicked it. He flicked it over someone, spun, and done a volley or something. And he went. I don't know if he went top bins or whatever. It was sick. I'm not gonna lie, but other than that, I just never thought he was that good. And Mourinho's come in and he's seen it and he said, "Bro, you have to bounce, man. It's as simple as that."
It's really
what's
frustrating
even-
as Chelsea fans because he banged us a good couple of
Oh.
times. And we can't chat.
Yes,
It's so
like,
annoying.
yes.
I hate that guy.
No.
Here's my thing with like Mourinho, right? So we've seen this kind of thing before where he pops in, he seems to be doing well, and then things go like sideways. Do you feel like this current he can take where Tottenham is now and take it to the end of the season?
No.
Spurs like to do Spurs things, innit? So
No, see that I see that I was expecting that because like I'm not gonna lie, as an Arsenal fan, watching Spurs do Spurs things is a personal favorite. I love it. It's funny, it's hilarious, and like no, because you guys think you dislike Spurs as a team. I have a special stake in disliking that team, right? Because every once in a while, their fans get uppity. Like a couple of years ago, it was like mind the gap when they had a 7-point lead, and then they blew it. And then I got to laugh because banter. But here's the thing, right? The coaches then you could argue that the coaches then didn't have what it takes or didn't have the managerial caliber that Jose had. So
I don't think it's
You also-
managerial. I think it was mentality.
okay, so here's the thing.
But is that part of managerial though, isn't it, Deji?
Yeah, to a certain degree, like Poch
Yeah.
had the tactics and all that stuff and whatnot, which is all well and good. Yes, you could have somewhat discipline, but with Mourinho is like a whole package, innit? You know what I mean? In terms of like, especially when it comes to mentality, like again, maybe a lot of what I'm saying comes from no, actually, it's a bunch of things. Not only the Spurs documentary as well. Like even like when he was at Chelsea, the mentality was crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that he even jumped in a fucking what was it? The clothes thing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like the
laundry.
so if I've got like the way that I look at it, if I'm a Spurs player and I've heard all those things that he would do for the club, do you know what I'm saying? Like he's willing to do all these things for the club. Of course, I'm gonna put 100% into it. No other manager I know gets kicked off the sideline and decides I'm gonna sneak into the what's it called anyways. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Remember Inter
Talking
Milan?
of 100% though, Dage, I think that's also the big part of it is that he seems to be getting the backing. Who would have expected to bring in Bale? Like he's got Bale, and Bale ain't even playing.
As never played. So again, are you saying that those that don't believe Spurs take it to the end of the season, are you saying you believe that because it's the Spurs, or are you saying it because you think another team is going to overtake them? Most likely Liverpool.
I think the only thing that I can put it down to is it's down to Spurs not doing Spursy things in terms of losing their head, and I think
Like
that's
they
the
did
only
against
thing.
Chelsea. I love that
Yeah.
season. I remember that season.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
like
that
when
was
they
that
did,
was
that.
but then again though, that's a Poch problem in it, because I think if Mourinho's in that position, Mourinho's looking at it like, okay, cool, you guys are starting to fuck up. You might as well just take everyone else with you. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the way that he looks at it. Do you know what I mean? He's like, all right, Mourinho. Remember, it was I think it was Real Madrid, Barcelona, or whatnot, and my man is now stepping on Messi's foot, bruv. He's not
Oh,
even in
yeah.
the game. He's doing a man. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's thinking, yeah, I'll take everyone. if we're fucking up today, everyone's gone. Everyone's fucking up.
So, because as it stands right now, right, Spurs have beaten Man United,
Mm.
Man City.
Mm.
Have they met Chelsea yet?
Yeah, we drew 0-0 last week. They
You
stuck
drew
up the bridge.
0-0. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll do.
So just because this is the biggest fuck up we can look at for Spurs this season, and we can all laugh at them, is the West Ham game.
And Everton.
Did they lose against Everton?
Yeah, 1-0.
Oh, they lost to Everton. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My bad.
Not even just that. Even the draw against West Ham when they drew 3-3 or something like that.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
was a madness.
And
as well.
Newcastle. Don't forget Newcastle.
The Newcastle one I can kind of forgive because that late penalty call, that was some bullshit. But like, so
Yeah, that's true.
So like right now, we're assuming, right, that Spurs can get it going because they have the Mourinho juice and they can take it to the end of the season. Or because here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm gonna be honest here. For a couple of seasons now, I've had this argument with, like, I felt the Spurs on paper, Spurs have had a better squad than, like, they've been underachieving. Not because Poch was a bad manager. I just thought, like, they had a piece that was missing player wise that was gonna, like, tip them over, and they didn't get it because Levy, how Levy does with transfers sometimes. But now you're looking at, because these are some of the players that, like, Poch had, and for all the talk that sometimes Mourinho doesn't manage talent well and all that stuff, Lo Celso is playing like a goddamn demon under him. I can't pronounce his name. The Dutch kid.
I think Lo Celso, I think Mourinho is using him really well because he doesn't start every game. He knows when to bring him in, and when he comes in, he has a real impact. D, was it Bergwijn that you were about to talk about?
Yes, him.
Dude.
Before you say anything, D, if you go to Edmonton Silver Street, there's a mural of Bergwijn in Edmonton. There's a mural of him with that thing. Yeah, I'll take a picture for you guys when I go there tomorrow morning.
Yes. So him, he's played him so well, and this is the thing. Like, you now look at, like, Tottenham as a whole. When Tottenham do badly, the like Deji said, when Tottenham do badly, Mourinho literally goes. I think there was a time when Tottenham didn't do well, and if I remember correctly, I think Deji were the one that mentioned the way he went, like, my team was leading, like, up to a point, and then the players took over and fucked it up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's like Mourinho. Don't get me wrong, Mourinho can do a madness, but I think Tottenham now understand the mentality that it takes to go and win these games and actually pull out trophies, and they can only do that with someone like Mourinho. Poch, they couldn't do it because Poch. I'm not saying that Poch is soft or anything like that, but he doesn't come across as a guy that's gonna tell you, bro, get stuck in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like. And I think Mourinho is.
I think Poch kind of feels like a hand on your shoulder kind of manager.
Yeah.
Whereas Mourinho will look at you and just go, "Fuck you, fuck the car that brought you, fuck your house, fuck your agents."
Wow. That's a question.
It's true, man. I don't know. I partly disagree. I don't think it's as clear cut as that.
No, I think one of.
So wait, Calum, what do you think then?
I think that both of them were good managers. I just think they have different styles, and I think that what Mourinho has brought to Spurs, which I kind of was getting to in that original question about Dyer, was that he's basically, like, look at their game against us. Those bastards, they didn't come to concede anything in that game, even air. Like, they were just that game was finishing 0-0. Or Mourinho was gonna die. Like,
if
nothing
Abraham
else
connected with the headers, would have won easy.
Oh, mate, we had plenty chances, man. We had plenty chances, but my point is that I think that's what Mourinho has brought that could win them the title. Is the old saying, isn't it? Like, defense wins you titles, and I think that's what Mourinho differs to Pochettino. So it'll be interesting, man. If
Can I just say?
some
Can I just
if
finish, Callum?
sorry, man, just last thing was it'd be really interesting because how big a player Ali was for Pochettino in terms of their attacking play. It would be interesting to see if Mourinho does bring him on side. We're not sure where he's going to go, but if he does, then how that will change Spurs.
Dele Alli is not coming back, man.
Can I just
no one would like that more than me. Trust me.
He's not, bruv. He's not coming back, bruv. From time when Mourinho was like in training, he's just shit. He's not coming back. And also remember, if you're talking about
shit.
No, he didn't say he's shit though, but he said he don't work. He don't work hard.
But here's the question: if a manager, if they gave you a couple of quotes and they said a manager said this about a player and it goes he's shit, wouldn't you attribute it to Jose? Wouldn't you think that's something Mourinho would say?
Oh, 100%. But you know what? Just on your point, yeah, Callum. Just on your point about defense wins you titles and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong; they haven't conceded a lot, but they've scored a hell of a lot though. Tottenham. They've scored, bro. They're banging in goals.
Especially at Old Trafford, didn't it? 6 goals.
You dickhead.
Wow.
But yeah, but
Can I just say, while we're talking about United, while Callum was talking here, Deji had a look on his face because he was clearly looking at his phone, and I know he was looking at the Man United lineup, and he saw no Pogba, and he literally made a face, right? His face was
no. That's not what I made a face at. I saw the lineup, and I see Luke Shaw is back, and I see Tellers is playing left mid. So I'm like, I'm thinking, how's that gonna work? What's going on here?
As Callum was, I just saw Deji's face just concocted, like, what the fuck? And I was
I think I know what's happening. I think we're playing 5 at the back. I think we're playing 5 at the back today. So
that was too funny.
It's all right.
But actually, speaking of Man United, and this is always banter, Paul Pogba.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't know why everyone is surprised. Like, I don't know why this is even news. Huh?
I'm not surprised. I knew it was going to
But some people are surprised though. People are all coming out going, "Oh, Pogba is disgraceful. It's all this and whatnot." I'm sitting there thinking, bro, we knew this guy was going to go from the time when he had an argument with Mourinho. Like, we knew this from a long time ago. So I don't know. I think.
Dej, just to get something fundamental to the whole of this story, do we think that this is what Paul Pogba is saying, or is it what Raiola is saying? Because we all know Raiola.
Yeah, we all know him and whatnot. I think Pogba has been saying it for a while, man. Like, I don't understand what the guy's unhappy. You can clearly see it, man. He just it. I don't know. People would ask that question. Can he? Is it a case of he can't hack the Prem? Is it that? Do you know what I mean? Is the game too different for him? I don't know. There's a bunch of things, man. But I think the guy's not happy, man. Just let him go, man. I'm even happy for the guy, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that's what he said, then it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like, that news didn't just come out from nowhere. I don't think it's just his agent is just saying it and Pogba is not saying anything. I don't think it's like that, man. It's not as easy as that.
Yeah, but he's got his own ego though. The agent, he has his own ego in it.
Yeah, he does.
Look what the clients he has, and he can say what he wants in it. He's gonna touch him.
No, he can say what he wants, and don't get me wrong. Like, no, I get what you're saying, but I still don't think it's come out of thin air. I still think Pogba has been complaining about it, and he's not happy at Man United. Bro, the guy don't even start, man. And then also as well, if you're talking about ego and whatnot, remember Pogba has been there for a while. He was meant to be the catalyst of the team, innit? Bruno's come in for cheaper, and he's doing a madness. You know what I'm saying? So to him, he must be thinking, bro, my job is done. I'm done.
We can't even call Bruno Fernandes because he scored bare goals out of the box.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
The guy is doing a madness, man.
You say that, and yet we will still call him Fernandes.
That's people though, isn't it? People
sorry. Yeah, just like Man United scores goals, but we still call them, Manchester United because
it's Manchester United. Bro. I'll take it. I don't mind.
Fred last week. Why didn't your manager take him off when everyone on the ball?
Bro, you know what? This is why. Yeah, this Ollie in, Ollie out thing. This is why I said last time I would like this guy to go out. You know what I mean? I'm not holding a banner up and saying, yeah, get him out today and all that stuff. My thing is that, like, he's not.
You need to go to Ed's house and throw some fireworks.
Nah, you know what? Ed is them man. I'm even done with talking about them guys, man. Them guys are not serious, man. But with Ollie, yeah, that was a man. That was
monumental, seismic, disgraceful decision.
No, it was just madness, man. It showed that he had no experience. Like, it just showed no experience at all, bro. The guy's on a yellow card. The guy's been doing. He was so lucky. That's the thing that even you got a 1-up. You actually got a 1-up. You got life. And this guy, even I was looking at I was thinking to myself, is the ref on crack? That's a straight red.
Just so you know, the reason why that didn't happen was the check cleared.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, listen, I was thinking that as well. I was sitting there thinking, bro, who paid this? Who paid this ref?
Yeah, like
I
the
think
check
the
cleared.
reason why he didn't send him off is because so that Man United's goal difference wouldn't be destroyed, didn't it? Because the goal difference is only 2 goals. That PSG 8 up, isn't it?
Listen, I think happened is that on his way to running on that screen, you know the watch, you can get bang information on your watch now. He was running and then it vibrated. Man looked at the watch and said, "Yeah, it's clear. I will run back."
Man was about to run that red. He just said, "Oh no, he's got the credit alert." And like, all right, cool, yellow for you. Actually,
yeah, that red card, bro, I don't know, man. Ollie should have took him off, man. I don't know why he didn't take him off, but it just shows how unexperienced he is, man, to be fair, or inexperienced he is, man.
Seeing as we dipped into Man United and your troubles, let's actually talk to the one team, the fans of the one team that seem to be doing well, and everybody should be happy in Chelsea land.
Us? Yeah, man. We're doing really well, you know. You want to go first?
No, go for it, mate.
All right. Let me tell you about the things I'm not happy about.
Damn. Straight in there, yeah?
Is the apology not coming first?
Oh, yeah.
No, he's still thanking. He's still thanking.
This is an apology to Kurt Zuma. I've been calling you Bambi legs. I've been calling you Rash. I've been calling you SHIT, Sugar on the SC, but you've turned around and you stuck it, and for that I apologize. It's not because you've been scoring for us. You've been doing really well with Thiago Silva. He's shutting everyone down. You know what I mean? So respect my guy. And the other thing I don't like is Marcus Alonso still being a Chelsea player, and Abraham not finishing those chances against Tottenham. Apart from that,
ooh, you know what? On that point, yeah, about Abraham, what did I say? I think it was a couple of episodes ago. And we was talking about strikers, and I said that Tammy Abraham is not my type of striker. This is the reason why. He's not my. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I can't pinpoint it, but for me, he's just not my type. He doesn't fit.
The way this podcast sometimes results to, I said it back in the day. I said it again.
It's true, though. It's true. You have to bring the receipts, bro.
I have been proven right, and the world shall know that I said Abraham was not the one. God damn, man.
Giroud has stepped up. The guy is professional as hell. You know what I mean?
Okay,
man went to Spain, slapped in four. Head, right, left, and penalty. You know what I mean? And also, we saw Abraham. He went to him and was like, "Yeah, you did really well." But I know he's a bit salt in it. You know, salt. You know, Himalayan salt, man.
Yeah, Himalayan. That's what I was gonna say. The pink salt, yeah. The pink
salt. Wow. Can I just say, like, you guys?
Is it Peri? No, is it Peri Peri salt? Because that one's got cayenne pepper in it. So,
yeah,
a bit of spice in it.
You lot are just mean. You're mean people. But no, can I just say though, in regards to Giroud, and this is something I've been saying this since like he played for Arsenal. I've always liked the man. The man has always been solid. So I'm not even remotely surprised that he's doing well at Chelsea. If he's one of those players, like if you use him right, which Arsenal only use them in bits and bobs, he actually provides, because this is the thing, like I've never understood when the problem with, I think a lot that happened with Arsenal and why like some Arsenal fans don't hold Giroud in the regard I feel he should be held in is he came in immediately after Van Persie, and it's just they were not remotely the same kind of player, and Arsenal fans just lost their shit because Arsenal fans. So yeah, but anyhow, Calum.
I remember that. Let me bring one old receipt back as well, yeah, because I remember saying.
Kel, you finished, right?
I was going to say that he's a Calum fan, but anyway, carry on, Deji. Deji, I want to say one more thing, then back to you, Calum.
Yeah. So just quickly, I want to bring back an old receipt that I said about Giroud as well, and following what Kelechi said about being a professional.
Old
that yeah.
Receipts,
Yeah. Oh, they have to bring it back, man. I remember saying this about 3 years ago about Arsenal fans and their beef with Giroud, and I was like, you're not using him the way that you're supposed to. Like what Arsenal wanted to do was this quick counter, tiki-taka, pass here, do all like 20 passes before he then walk the ball into the net and stuff like that. And I was like, he don't play like that. He's the hold-up guy. You give it to him, he receives it, lays it off, and then he makes that late run. He makes that late run into the box and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? And what Arsenal were looking for was not that. And I kept saying it, and I was like, I don't even know what your argument with this guy is. Like, he's actually very good. He's good at what he does. Do you know what I mean?
Won the World Cup.
I said that from the time.
So there you go.
I said that. See, thank you. Like, I don't even, that's one receipt I don't even mind. I said it from time. It's just like I said it. When Arsenal sold Giroud, honestly, apart from the fact that the man is just a amazing specimen, like that man is just ridiculously good looking. Other than that, apart from that, and I was just it has to be said. Apart from that, I was just kind of I was just kind of like, apart from the fact that I like looking at his face, right? I was just kind of like, because the system doesn't work. Like if he goes into a system where he has, like, when he plays for France, for example, and this is what pisses me off about like club football sometimes is if you see how a player plays for his national team and he's excelling in that role, that is a hint of how you should use him when he comes back to you. Another example of that. Sorry, was that Callum?
I think he was coughing.
Sorry, I just had a cough.
If
allergies just came.
Yeah, if your cough was a proper cough, I 100% see that, because that's literally the example I was going to use. Like, you see how my man plays for France, and then he comes to United, and then everyone is surprised that he's not delivering the same good. Like, bruv.
He plays like a little Pogba.
So yeah, Callum, you were saying good things about your club.
Oh, sorry, Callum.
Nah,
I'm sorry, sir. One thing. It's gonna be like a transition. What I'm gonna say in it. All right. So basically, like a tennis, you lay up in air, they just bang. Okay. All right. Timo Werner, yeah. Timo Werner, like I like the guy in it. I mean, as a footballer, like I've been seeing what he's doing. He's trying very hard. I don't think he really fits in the system yet. But with the chances he's been having and what he's been doing, you can see he's trying very hard. And you get frustrated when he doesn't score. But not every striker will score from every shot they have in it. So what do you think? What do you think can Werner improve on, and how do you think Havertz can actually put his stamp on authority in the CAM position? And what do you think our strongest team would be? What's our strongest 11?
It's a tough one, man. All right, I'll kind of go backwards from the end. Havertz, it was something that I've been thinking about as well, and people have been saying like, "Oh, is the Havertz problem real?" And that kind of that word "problem" does annoy me a little bit. The kid is so talented. He worked so hard. He had a major case of COVID that affected his health. Like Frank Lampard said, like his lungs were really badly affected. So in the last three weeks, maybe, he's had to be brought back really, really slowly. I think that people have to remember that we don't play with a typical cam role, like a full number 8/number 10. Frank Lampard started to find his formation, which is a 4-3-3, with Money Mace on the left, N'Golo holding, and I think it will be Kai Havertz on that right side. And that kind of triangle in the midfield is very dynamic. Like when Mason goes up, Kai can drop back, and when Kai goes up, Mason can drop back. I think that's so important. I think Kai Havertz is the kind of player that can be moved around the team, and it's twofold. He can plug holes when holes appear because of injuries or whatever it might be, but equally you can shift the team to play him in a specific position to make the most of another team's weakness. That's what I think. I think he's that good. I think we have to remember his age as well. He's coming to a brand new league. Let's give him like 6 months to a year, and then we'll start seeing the real Kai Havertz. In terms of Timo Werner, I think that Lampard is tough, man. I think that Lampard, yes, we found our formation in a 4-3-3, but I think that the way that the front three or the middle three works.
Sorry, my sister.
You okay, Kel?
Yeah, sorry. My mom wanted to pick her up in it.
I think that yes, Lampard has found the 4-3-3 formation, which he likes, But we have to remember that there's lots of different types of 4-3-3s. Liverpool's 4-3-3 is different in many ways to a lot of other ones, right? And I think that the way that Lampard hasn't quite found what type of 4-3-3 that he wants to play, because the front three, if we have Timo Werner in the centre, it's a very different game to if we have Giroud in the centre. And I think that Lampard
do you think he's gonna prefer Giroud more, that type of 4-3-3?
What I was about to say is I think that Lampard is getting to the point where he is completely tailoring his team for the opposition. And if, for example, we're playing against Spurs, that 0-0 draw where Spurs are parking the bus, Timo Werner isn't going to, like, we've all seen and we all now know Werner's attributes, right? Is breaking past people at pace. In that 0-0 game against Spurs, he wouldn't have had that chance. Spurs sat so deep, and so Giroud would have been a better option. So I think that, and I'm happy with that personally. I don't believe that you should just play someone for the sake of playing them. If it works, then great. But if it doesn't, then there's no point in it. And I would rather that we shift and play and customize our team. In terms of the other striker, Tammy Abraham, that we have, I get what people say about he is not my type of striker, like what you were saying, Paige. He doesn't fit my type of striker, my expectation. But for me, I love him, man. I love his passion, his work rate. The
fashionista. That's the worst attribute.
Well, but normally, like, I agree with you. If you're just passion for passion's sake or whatever, 100%, that's worthless. But he actually has an effect. Like the game against Leeds, our third goal, that came from him fighting in the right back position, helping Reece James win that ball. Yeah. And then that's from your centre forward. Reece James got the ball, popped it to Kovacic to Werner, and then into Pulisic. And I think that gets over. I think that gets overlooked so much, man. Don't get me wrong. I am frustrated as hell, like Kel, when you were saying in the Spurs game, when all those chances were going begging. He could have scored a hat-trick in that game. Could have. But don't get me wrong, that frustrates me like hell. But I think that we've got to give him time, man. He's 21. He's 23. I think that it's for a striker of his age, I think he's got a long way to go, man. And under Lampard,
I think you know what? Sometimes when people talk about strikers and their ages and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, I fall into that trap when I go, oh shit, yeah, he's quite young, and I always think to myself, like, when these guys are playing, I'm thinking, yeah, you're like 27, you should be playing like your 27-year-old's experience and whatnot. But it's where they've started off so young and they're in the game for quite some time, automatically. Yeah. But then sometimes I look at it and I go to myself, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you should be doing better than you are, because I have to use Mbappe as a prime example. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, and do you know this is the problem with you lot, with all football fans, and all of us are culpable of this. That nonsense where you see a once in a generation talent and then go, look at your mates. That's some bullshit.
No, sometimes you have to.
That's some African parent bullshit of just kind of like,
sometimes,
okay, see what your mate is doing. See what your mate is doing.
When Neymar was that age as well, Neymar was doing a madness as well.
Sorry, again, you keep pointing out these exceptional talents that were killing. Like, what the hell, man? Like, there's.
You have to look at your mate, bro. You have to look at what your mate is doing.
What about if we've been looking at Vardy when he was that age?
It's true.
See, you know, Calum, you make.
No, but then if you're looking at Vardy's age now, and I'm looking at comparing him to other people that his age, I'm still gonna say, bro, look at your age, mate. Do you know what I mean?
As in, you're gonna use Vardy as the example.
Yeah, if we're generalizing it based on age, let's say age bracket.
That's.
No, if we're looking at age brackets and stuff like that, and I'm looking at how old is Vardy?
31.
31, I think, yeah.
Right. So if I'm looking at other players who are also 31 and they're not up to the scratch of what Vardy's doing, I'm gonna be like, bruv, look at what your age mate is doing.
No, but you see, what Deji is doing here is like he's trying to invest in the system.
I'm trying to what?
Sorry, real time follow up. He's almost 34.
He's almost there. You go. So yeah. So don't you do that, Deji? Deji's moving the goalpost here.
Okay, so let's use Ibra as an example. Yeah. Look at what Ibra's doing, and I look at people his age, and I'm thinking, bruv, you're retired. Come on, man. Look what Ibra's doing, bruv.
No. Don't be. Come on. See, this is what I'm saying. You're taking like people that you know are exceptional talent, and that's like saying, don't actually. You know what? I'm gonna. That's. You know what? No, just don't do that.
We're gonna have to retire
There's
this conversation.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll pick up another day. Deji, I'm going to fight you, by the way.
Football Fans and podcast. Tune in, subscribe, like.
Where's the subscribe
Shout out
button,
to Calum, Deji, D, your German, Austrian, no, your Austrian Aspie, no, Chelsea. I'm Kelechi. Okay, see for sure.
You know what I can always rely on Kelechi to provide when he's hosting some really memorable bits without Austrian German stuff. Is amazing. Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys. It's been real
fun.
Yeah.
Tune in for part 2, ladies and gentlemen. Part 2 coming somewhere around here.
There's no part.
Right, lads. The Chelsea boys, go enjoy your match. Deji, enjoy whatever Man United gives you tonight.
Are you gonna watch the Messi Ronaldo game, D?
Oh, absolutely. This is the beauty of not being in the Champions League. I get to watch any match I want with no consequence whatsoever.
I'm jealous.
Okay, lads. See you. Cheers.
There you go, guys.